Yeah.
Very good. How is everybody?
Everybody's good.
Good.
Coach, what did you learn from the Pac-12 conference championships that will help you now in this particular tournament?
Well, we just didn't play very well. We'd had 9 games in a row where we'd won 9 in a row, and that was a grind. Our guys played very well. We've talked to our team similar to what happened in the non-conference. We won 13 in a row, lost to Oregon, then put another good streak together of, I think, 6 games in a row, and then lost 2 in a row. And this one, I don't think had as much to do with fatigue as physically as much mentally. Finishing the regular conference, finishing league play on a 9-game win streak. Now you're going to the conference tournament, you're playing the same teams that you just played. We just played SC several weeks back, just played Arizona a week ago before that. So for whatever reason, we just didn't play well. But we'd been playing very well. So now it's just about getting rest. We didn't do anything Saturday or Sunday. We'll practice all this week and prep for Kent State. And the guys seem extremely excited about getting to the NCAA tournament. And we're excited to play.
What are the pitfalls that you face going against a team like Kent State when overwhelmingly you're picked to win?
Well, you got to play well. The pitfall is not playing well. And when you get to the NCAA tournament, very few teams, if any, can not play well and think they're going to advance. That's where the upsets happen. It happens every year. That's why it's called March Madness. And I've been a part of both sides through 26 years. So I've experienced both of those things. So you got to be playing good basketball. And hopefully we get. I like our health right now. We're starting to get back very healthy. Alonzo's doing much better. TJ's doing much better. We'll get Alex Olashinsky hopefully back next week for contact, where he can at least help in practice. So we're starting to get healthy again. And so I think health is the first and foremost, and then if you're playing well.
One of the things that came out of Vegas on the plus side was that Isaac played pretty well. Was it good to see him kind of get back into the flow of things?
Yeah, because overall our guard play wasn't the way it has been overall, and I thought Isaac was one guy that played very well in those 2 games, and I thought Tom and Ike did a lot of good things, and TJ gave us everything he had really on one foot. So we appreciate that. And it's not that our guards were bad, it just they weren't to the level that we've been. And so we haven't had very many games of that to where we've had multiple guards not perform well. It's usually been one guy hadn't had a good game and 3 guys lift them up, and for whatever reason we didn't quite have that. We just didn't have that urgency to what we'd had, I think, in the previous 5 weeks, and I think we'll get that back this week.
Is Isaac one of the guys who relies on confidence maybe more than some of the other guys and needs to be in a good flow to play well?
I don't know. He's been around 4 years, so like Bryce, these guys have been around a lot, so they've experienced everything. When you play as long as they've played, they should understand you're going to go through games where the shot's not going in, so now you do other things. You rebound, you defend, you get deflections, you talk more, you assist better. Whatever it may be, you figure those things out. And I think our senior guards are like that, and I think Aaron's done a great job all year. I think Aaron's ranked 5th in the country in catch and shoot type stuff. So our guards have been really good all year. Collectively, we didn't have the guard play that we've been accustomed to in those 2 games.
Coach, with the prospect of instant elimination in the tournament, rules change a little bit. Does the game plan change at all? Have you spoken to the players about any kind of adjustment?
Adjustment in
mental focus.
Well, no, I think they understand. We've talked about the the reality of the Pac-12 tournament is that we won 1, lost 1. You don't get another game. Once you get one on the right side now, you're done, and that happened. And so they got to experience that at the Pac-12 tournament. And so I think they've got a full understanding of you put anything on the right side of the dash now, the season's over. And so there's obviously pressure that goes into that, but that's what makes this such a unique tournament. I don't think there's a harder national tournament or harder national champion than in college basketball. It starts with 351 teams, and now it's been reduced to 68. Now you got to win 6 on a neutral court. That's hard. You've got to play well for 3 weeks, and you got to do that in a neutral setting. So our guys understand that. Now we do have some guys going through it for the first time. So guys like Bryce and Isaac and Tom and Aaron, Gigi, these guys have got to do a good job of helping the young guys. Aaron hadn't been a part of it. Aaron, we missed it in his freshman year, so we've really got 4 of our 8 guys in the rotation haven't been a part of this. So the guys that have been a part of it have to do a good job of letting them understand it's a whole different dynamic. You get different officials now, you play in a different environment. There's a whole different, you're watching games all day. I think we might be the last game to play. So we might be the last game of the tournament here in the first round to tip off. So there's a lot of games you're watching and you're seeing all the enthusiasm and excitement, and some of that's good and some of it is like, when are we going to play? But our guys are eager. I think this is the tournament they've been waiting on.
That was the case in the Pac-12 tournament too. You were the last game.
Right.
Is that a hard thing to do, to be sitting around waiting all day? Or?
It was for that tournament. We tipped off. I told the guys, I said, hey, there was 12 teams in this thing. Now there's only 5. So without doing anything, we were down to 5. So it's just part of it. It's the draw. But this team, I think, has been gearing for this. This is what they've really been. The things we've been trying to impress on them as coaches the months of February and March. Not to take anything away from the Pac-12 tournament, because I know our guys went there to win it and we didn't play well, but their urgency and what they want to accomplish and what they want to get done, it's this tournament.
Steve, 30 years ago, you guys did win 6 straight on a neutral court. Curious if you look back as a head coach, what did Bobby Knight teach you, either verbally or non-verbally, about March?
We kept things consistent. Whether we were at home or on the road, it was the same. And you got to guard against that now, because you get an NCAA tournament and more people get involved. It's a bigger travel party. And that's, I've already talked to our staff about it. We're not changing anything. If more people are coming on this trip and more people are going to be on our plane, and that's all great, but we're going to keep things the same. We're consistent in what we do and how we do things, because the players need to see that. The players, all of a sudden, you don't want to put in new offenses, new defenses, and now we're going to eat at different times and do shoot-arounds at night instead of the morning. You got to stay consistent in what you've done all year, because the players are used to that.
You mentioned being on both sides of upsets in March. There were 2 times when you were the 3 seed and lost in the first round. Is there anything you can take from that? I know that has no bearing on this, but is there any lesson to be learned there?
Yeah, well, to different teams. New Mexico, we hadn't been there. Our Iowa team was really good, and that was a shock to that team. About everything that could have went wrong in that game went wrong. We got beat on a ball that hits the side of the backboard. We missed foul shots. The New Mexico team was a team that was just trying to build momentum in postseason play, and we'd had a phenomenal conference and conference tournament season. So we'd gone through a lot. We clinched the league championship 2 weeks with 2 weeks remaining in play, and then we go and we just run right through the conference tournament without any problems. So then all of a sudden you're getting in the Ivy League school, and we just didn't play very well on that day. So it's different circumstances, it's different teams. I know what I got in this team. We've got good experience, we've got a good blend. This is a high skilled set team, and we got to get back to just that fun and kind of that fun run and gun. That's what we do, and we got to get back to that.
Well, did you fill out a bracket, Coach? And whether you did or not, the fact that the algorithm is picking UCLA to go really far, does that matter to you either way?
Well, it's great. This time last year we weren't playing. There's a lot being said on the other end this time last year, and less than 12 months, right at 12 months later, all of a sudden you're picked to win the tournament. That means you've had a really good year. And I appreciate the efforts that our players have gone through, and that's where we should be. I want that talk each and every year. Doesn't mean we're going to win it every year. It's hard. It's a hard championship these days to do, but I like my team. I like where we're at. I like the character of this team. I know they're going to give me everything that they got, and if by chance we don't get it done, it's not because the guys didn't try and do everything they possibly could and have everything set up for them to do it. They're going to give us the very best, and they're fun to watch, they're fun to coach.
Coach, how do you keep them from listening to all the noise when the expectations out there are so great?
We talked about that. We put the AP top 10 up on the board yesterday, and we said, look at these top 10, and we're 8th in the final AP poll. We're 8th, and if you listen to all, I said, I last night after the selection show, I listened to all the pundits and everything. All 10 of those teams, there was somebody that picked one of those 10 teams. That means 9 of those teams didn't get picked. So my point is, the noise will pick you, and the noise will pick somebody else. The noise isn't going to determine who wins this tournament. It's who can play well at both ends of the floor together and tough for 3 weeks that's going to give them the best chance of winning.